NYRA Bets is the best play in online horse racing and betting. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions. Sign up now, NYRABets.com.
Mike Welch back to you again this year with the Breeders' Cup Clocker Report, brought to you by NYRA Bets. You can be eligible for a $1,000 sign-up bonus, so go to NYRABets.com now for all the details. Well, slowly but surely, the horses are arriving here at Del Mar. A couple of dozen Breeders' Cup horses on the grounds now, but by the end of the weekend, they'll all be here. Another few days, about 150 of the world's greatest horses will be coming to Del Mar over the next several days. The weather has been unseasonably warm in the afternoons, but crisp and cool in the mornings when the track opens at 5:30. Temperatures in the high 50s, got up to about 98 at Del Mar yesterday, but scheduled to temper a little bit as we hit the weekend. Only one Breeders' Cup worker here over the last two mornings, and that was Imperative. That was this morning. He went 6 furlongs in 1:14 flat, worked from the 5.5 furlong pole, finished out past the wire, got a tad tired. Now, he hasn't run in about 6 months now, I think since the Charlestown Classic, and he's going to compete in the dirt mile for trainer Bob Hess. Among the notable horses that I have seen here either today or both the last 2 mornings, Mind Your Biscuits is in town for the sprint. Just jogged today, walked yesterday. He'll do a lot more tomorrow. Is scheduled to work here over the weekend. I actually got to see him work at Belmont Park last week. Not up to his usual standards. It was a pretty good work by normal standards, but I've seen better from him, so it'll be interesting to see how he does in his final Breeders' Cup work. Imperial Hint, also one of the top contenders for the sprint. He looked great this morning. He just jogged once around, neck bowed, looked terrific, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him work. He's kind of freakish. He's 4 for 4 this year. He will have his hands full with Trafang and Roy H. out here, but Imperial Hint, a big factor in the sprint. Sharp Azteca, who may be the favorite in the dirt mile, visited the track for the first time. Also, his stablemate War Story was out today. Sharp Azteca looked really good. He galloped very strong after jogging once around. His rider had to take a little bit of a hold as he came by the wire the final time to keep him from doing too much. Mongolian Saturday, who won the turf sprint 2 years ago, got to stretch his legs this morning, open gallop down the lane. It's a tactic that worked for them leading up to the 2015 turf sprint at Keeneland that he won at about 15-1. It's going to be about that price again this year too, but I think Mongolian Saturday is actually scheduled to work tomorrow morning on the main track. The turf course does not open for works until Sunday. The 2-year-olds for trainer Dale Romans, they're up against it against Bolt D'Oro, the California kingpin, but both of them look great here. They've come over from Santa Anita. Both had big works over there. Both couldn't look better. Came out of their works well, doing terrific. You got to love the way Hollywood Star, you got to watch him move if you get a chance. He just collides over the ground. I love the way he's looked. Love the way both of them looked the last 2 mornings. Another 2-year-old who impressed me today was Catholic Cowboy for the juvenile turf. Catholic Cowboy, he's 2 for 2 for trainer Jonathan Thomas, and he was a handful for his exercise rider this morning. She had the feet in the dashboard both times past the wire, trying to keep him from doing too much. Curlin's Approval, a Breeders' Cup Challenge winner down in Florida this year. She's here for the filly and mare sprint. She might have been the busiest of all the Breeders' Cup horses this morning. She comes out late, right at 9:30, right before the track closes. She jogged a 1 3/8, turned around and galloped 1.5 miles as the outriders were tapping away, waiting for it to get done so they could go home for the morning. The Tabulator, another 2-year-old in the juvenile, looked good today. His first day out on the trail. The first day I saw him, he might have been out here yesterday in the dark. Track opens 5:30. It's dark till 6:30, so it's hard to see some of them that go out early. Cambodia, Moonshine Memories also go out very early in the morning, or have been so far. Princess Warrior, like Moonshine Memories, is also here right now for the juvenile fillies. She's had a couple of good mornings. I'm not sure what her work schedule is. Lady Aurelia, who may be the favorite in the turf sprint, also here the last couple of days with a whole contingent from trainer Wesley Ward, and she looked good in her routine mile gallop this morning. Mopatism was keen today. She's one of about a handful of horses trainer Doug O'Neill has here for the Breeders' Cup. She's running in the distaff, and most of those horses are scheduled to work, as Doug O'Neill usually does, 8 days out. They're going to work tomorrow morning, Friday, at Del Mar. I did get to see the tapes of some of the works last week over at Santa Anita. I watched Arrogate's work over the weekend, and he just looked terrific. Looked just about the same, almost as good as he did. I mean, nobody's worked as good as he did last year going into that Classic, but he looked pretty close from the tape of what I saw. But then I watched Gunrunner's tape right after, and he might have worked even better. So it's going to be one heck of a Classic to end, one heck of a Breeders' Cup card. And we're going to be here all week long with up-to-date reports here at Del Mar, and also if a couple there are going to be some more works at Santa Anita in New York. If I get a chance to see those, I've got Dave Grenning back in New York for the works there Friday and Saturday, and I got my Clocker colleague Toby Terrell. He's at Santa Anita. It's going to be a group effort for this year's DRF Clocker Report, so don't miss that either, and don't miss us here at drf.com with the Breeders' Cup Clocker Report.